1996's Mission Impossible. This is the first film in the Mission Impossible franchise. So at the time, it wasn't even a franchise. The log line from IMDb: an American agent under false suspicion of disloyalty must discover and expose the real spy without the help of his organization. So this is Brian De Palma's director. Tom Cruise obviously starred in the film. I saw this in theaters when I was 14. So it's very young, but it really did leave a lasting impression on me in terms of the visceral reaction you can get from thrills and effects and suspense and action of seeing this on the big screen. It really kind of culminated for me in several sequences. There's a famous sequence in Langley where it's totally silent, where Tom Cruise is there, just suspended from the ceiling, and it's a whole packed audience, but like nobody is saying anything. And there's the sweat drop is about to fall on the floor, which would set off the alarms, and Tom Cruise is trying not to do that. You just hear everyone just like this collective gasp. So it's definitely that is really amazing. But for me, it really sums up this whole experience of this movie being in theaters for me is summed up in the final sequence, which is the Tom Cruise in the Channel train sequence. So it's very end of the film. Very actually similar. The sequence starts where De Palma doesn't have any sound in it at all. I'm sorry, musical score, I should say. Right. So you're really just feeling all the sounds of Tom Cruise being on top of this train. And then it culminates in this incredible sequence where he jumps onto this helicopter that's chasing him inside of the channel. All of a sudden, the Mission Impossible theme song kicks into gear, and he blows up the helicopter, kills the bad guy in this incredible visual effects shot. And it really just, for me, like, I think we touched on this in the previous episode, like the mise en scène, sort of all the parts of film kind of coming together, from Tom Cruise's acting in that scene, ILM, incredible special effects that just on the big screen were something that really impacted me. And then just the music, like Danny Elfman did the score and really pulled a lot from Bernard Herrmann, because obviously De Palma, so it's got to be a Hitchcock influenced film, which it definitely was. And yeah, that spectacle, I was actually on the edge of my seat. Like, I remember specifically being 14, and after that whole thing was over and Tom Cruise didn't die and he won, and then the train stops and everything, just realizing, oh my God, like my hands are like gripping the seat. I'm literally on the edge of my seat. Like, I thought that was just an expression. Like, I didn't know this was a real thing. So it really just encapsulates to me something where on the big screen with the audience, with the big sound, that it has this impact on you that, as big as your TV could be at home, nothing could really ever capture that. And then, subsequently after that, I've experienced that same sort of thrill and sensation. But that first time left such a lasting impression on me, like, wow, like this stuff, these big budget, big action, suspense thriller movies really can have a big impact in you when you're in the theater. I'll never forget that moment.
I'm almost jealous of you that you got to watch this when you were of that age, because I watched this like much later in my life, not in the theater, and it still obviously is iconic and completely mesmerized me and such. But watching it on the big screen, like you said, but at that age, yeah, I can't even imagine what that would do to a mind of a 14-year-old, because it's sort of, you haven't experienced or seen anything like it. I mean, most people probably haven't, but especially at that age. So yeah, what a great pick. I feel like this is, I mean, we'll get to this on my list hopefully as well, but to me, this is kind of like the best of blockbuster coming together with something that has something to say, but is also entertaining. It's not just all fluff. It's not just, a piece for the heck of it, but there's sort of meaning and reason behind it, and it's done deftly in all departments, right? It's not just the director's showpiece. It's everything coming together, like you said. So yeah, I love this movie, and what a great career, for Tom Cruise. I mean, there's a part of me, and you and I, we've talked about this, that I miss him doing more adult dramas, but hey, as we have this conversation, maybe he had a pulse on the business way ahead, that if I want to survive and continue to kind of be relevant, not just in this country, but globally, I got to kind of get on, a franchise train, but also make it meaningful. And he has. So I guess he's having the last laugh.
Yeah, no, he's very, very good business sense for sure. I mean, this is the first movie he actually produced. He started his production company, and this was the first one that he chose. And I think there were a lot of Probably. I mean, whether easy to look back and say he knew what he was doing, but I'm sure he did in terms of picking this to be his main vehicle. And then, like you said, I think seeing this landscape shifting more towards this direction. I mean, he definitely has weathered a lot of storms. It just, even with his personal popularity, but coming back to this franchise helps rejuvenate himself and continue on his career. So it was just a brilliant move for him, for sure.
Couldn't agree more. And then, what a great soundtrack.
Oh yeah, for sure. I even still listen to that score when I need to get pumped up or when I'm working out, like that last 2 minutes during that train sequence, because I can jump back to feeling like I was when I was 14 in that theater seat. Like I can still capture that emotion if I want to. Even watching the sequence on my phone, like if I just pull it up on YouTube and just watch on my phone, like I can still, because I have that memory, kind of transport myself back to what that was like. So it's definitely fun.
Hey there, it's Alex. If you like the review and discussion Karan and I just had, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Movies That Shaped Us, to get full episodes. Every other Wednesday, Karan and I cover a topic around important people, places, events, and moments in our lives, and then explore it through 3 of our favorite movies. Subscribe right now or follow our podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts via the link in the description below. Hope you join us for the journey.